Hello, this is Vance, and this is Tuesday, April the 7th, 2015. And I do the CL trades for today. Haven't been on for the last week, and today is really the first day that I've really been cleared up. I've had some really bad bouts of allergy over the last week. And today's really the first day. I was still feeling the effects of it yesterday, but I think I'm pretty much clear now. And caught me in a really good moment right now because throughout the day, my head just get really stuffed up. And now that I've got a different antihistamine that I'm on, I think I'll be okay. It's just a change of the weather, and where a part that I live is that there's the snow's kind of burning off, and there's lots of snow mold in the air, and I think I really have an allergic reaction to it. And so the last week has been terrible as far as very little sleep and so forth. So I've been trading, but I just really haven't been putting in. I've been sounding terrible, but I'm kind of turned it. I'm better today. Today's been the first day that I've really been clear. Almost most of the day, I'm still a little bit stuffed up, but that's why I haven't been around. And so I try to kind of get through this. Hopefully, I don't have a bad. This has been the worst bout of allergies I've ever had. I suspect it's allergies, but I haven't been to the doctor, but I've got an appointment to go see him and see if they can kind of track this down. Hopefully, it won't happen again. Maybe some stronger. I've been just taking over-the-counter medication, but maybe a stronger medication will help me with this sort of thing. And it doesn't happen very often, so I'll probably be fine for the rest of the year. Anyway, somebody wrote me today, was asking me about, where I've been. My reports have been too intermittent. And so, as I said, I mentioned this a few weeks ago that I'll promise to do it every day. And of course, I missed this last week. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my very best to do a very quick report every night, particularly on the CL. Today was an incredibly good day. It's a really good day to come on here. I mean, we had just movement right from almost the opening all the way up. No shorts today at all, even though there is some shorts in there. You could have taken a couple in a couple areas. We had some pullbacks, but most of it was just hesitation. Market just kept going up today. There's kind of really two tiers to it, and I'll kind of talk about that. If you didn't get in, I mean, at some of these points, I mean, there's lots of areas. I mean, yesterday's high was 52.24, and if you look at it from today, today's high is at 54.13. The overnight low from yesterday, we had quite a bit of a low. The low is at 49.47 from yesterday, and now 49.47. And as of today, the high was $54. So that's a $5 move over just 24 hours, and so that's tremendous. I mean, that doesn't happen very often. I can't remember the last time it really did happen. I guess probably the unwinding that we had in the other direction. But I'm not being too. We haven't really turned a corner on it. A couple of things that happened like last week, and just a commentary to think about this. There's been a lot of speculation about price of oil going down to $20 a barrel and that kind of thing. Heard that, or the price of oil will stay below $40 a barrel for the foreseeable future. And with the strength of the last couple of days, and with the pricing the way it is, and how far it fell off, one of the things that you have to remember from the investment perspective is the tendency that if prices fall too fast in a very short period of time, it's oversold and will likely take it back at some point in time. Now, granted, this fall that we've gone to around the $50 barrel mark has happened over the last 3 months, but we're recovering relatively quickly, and these last couple of days in particular have been pretty vibrant. And we've had some, especially from the move down and the move back up. So let me just show you something. And I've talked about this the week before last is the 1440 chart. So I'm going to swing that in. This is the just really equivalent of the daily chart. And as you recall, I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, this area right here, that's kind of a tight trading range. And I was expecting we would trade up into this right around here. But look, we fell all the way down to below $44. And now, over the last couple of weeks, we've traded right back up into this range. So this area right here, you can see where we've broken through. And this right here is price breaks the channel, pulls back, and then moves its way back up here again. And this is the last couple of days. So the last couple of days, last 3 days, since last week, we've moved from 48, even the low of just last week, 47.07, to a high of 54. So that is a $7 move as far as price is concerned in a period of the last week. Now, the other thing is that we've got a long way to go to get back to where it's a relative, and we're talking about an area. Let me just kind of move this a little bigger. Just back last last fall, and let's say in November, the end of last November, price was at $85 a barrel. At the beginning of in September, it was closer to $95, almost $100 a barrel, and so look at this area right here, and what I'm talking about. When are we going to recover this area, this gap right into here, to bring us back into line with where prices have been? And so when are we expecting that? Is this the bottom? You can see that this is not necessarily extended area, but you can see prices kind of traded down to this line, and now we're trading in now. Is this a reversal pattern? Because if you look at a time frame, anytime, even a shorter time frame, this could very well be a reversal pattern. You can see that we've had this fall down to this area. We had the first failure, pulls back, and this is a second entry long right here. You can say this is a second entry long from down here off of this one. From here, this first entry. Well, actually, this was a second entry long as well to here, but this is down to this area. This is certainly second entry long. If we have one failure, two failures down to there, you can almost say there's almost a measured move down to here, and now we've got this measured move up to here, pulls back twice, and maybe up to this area. So the point is that where are we going to go? Are we going to go back down to $45? So is this the bottom of this trend? Well, I don't think so. I really don't. A couple of things. One of the reasons why in the shorter time frame last week, and this is just going for the last week, remember. Last Wednesday, we had an announcement. It said that there was another 4.3 million barrel build, and there's an 80-year high as far as build of oil storage in the U.S., crude oil. And with no new drilling taking place in North America, companies are probably just front-running prices a little bit. So at $50 a barrel oil, or $40 to $4 a barrel oil was too low. $49 a barrel was too low. So that's why prices have risen. I suspect that that's the case. Now, let's come back to today. Today, price roared right up there. I mean, we had a low of just the $51 mark coming off yesterday. Of course, we had a lower, but as you can see, now let's talk about today's prices. Let's talk about the actual on a daily standpoint. Here we had at 8:40. This is 9 o'clock. This is right near the open. Price moves down in this tight trading range. This is the overnight. We didn't have a lot of movement from the overnight. And then when price got to this level, at the bottom of this trading range, we had here. And so it really double bottom in these two areas. Let me just draw that in there. So we had this double bottom, from the overnight. Try that again. All right. So we had the double bottom from here and double bottom right here. So right here, I thought this was a very good trade because we've got room to get out. This is the bottom. This is the top of the range. I think we're going to retest it. I mean, there's plenty of room to get out. It does pull back again, and here we have a second entry long. I marked it in green because it's a little bit more of an aggressive trade. But you can see second entry long from here. So this price move and this move, and if you got in on this trade, maybe add in on this. This is really at the top of this. This is really a kind of a triple top. We have the price moves up here, can't get higher and not get higher. This is almost a test of this, but when it gets up to here, if it bounces up against it, you figure we're going to break out at least, maybe retest the overnight or yesterday's high. And once price moved up here higher, it was really kind of unbroken. And what I moved in here is when the first break we have of this is really an hour later. So this was about 10:30, pardon me. So from 10 o'clock, 10:30, half an hour later, price pulls back. Moves back down to this area right to here. Again, a second entry long off of this one. Now, we see price it comes back down to here. We have the first pullback, fails, second pullback, and then this is a fairly strong buy. I marked it in green. We got room to get to these double tops here, and as you can see, once it gets to this more, if you got in this trade, this moved up very rapidly. And what I'm saying by very rapidly, we're saying that 10:45, 10:50, so let's say 10:45 to hit this area is 10:57. So 12 minutes, we went from 52.30 to 53.42. So 10 minutes, we put on 120 ticks, $1.20 in that period of time. So it just went ripping right up to this area. When something like that happens, you can see that price moved up this area fairly strongly off the open, pulled back, ripped right up in this area. And so if you look at this hesitation, I'm thinking that this is a strong move. We may continue this up. Now, there was hesitation here. There's a second entry short right here. Now, do you take this short at the top of this? Well, I don't know. I mean, you can see that price didn't really pull back that much. It did break this trend channel, and then right along here, looking at maybe going higher. And again, price just kind of moved its way up even higher off of here. So now, again, looking any reason to go long, and that's what you really have to look at, any reason to go long. This might have been a little bit more aggressive, but again, you limit in down here if you come late to the party. I mean, these are relatively simple to see. If you're trading early and you're going long on these ones, and you've got your runner's still active way the heck up to here. And so anytime you're looking, this is kind of late. I don't know if you come in, I don't know if you start trading at 11 o'clock. I don't know if that's the case. Usually you're trying to look at, that's the end of trading is 11 o'clock. But even after that, price started moving up a little bit higher. It went into this top trading range. We had a pullback, and it retested these areas. So this is really important to look at this. Look at this at 2 o'clock. After 2 o'clock, price comes down here, retests where we had this hesitation right here, finds support, and then to the end of the next half an hour, it moves from, and this is right at 2 o'clock, 52.98 moves up to 53.99. So it puts on another 100 ticks or $1 from this low to up here, and just in a very short period of time. So again, do you get in at this level? This is late in the day. If you're looking at trading, there really isn't. There's quite a few trades on both sides, but I mean, you have to really look at the premise. Anytime you want to take these trades, you have to take them at the trend lines or at the EMA, and if you look at support from the left side of the chart, that's where you have to take it. Pretty straightforward, not really that much to talk about. I mean, again, here, limiting in here and holding on is pretty much the order of the day. And that's basically the way it worked out. So, again, it was a pretty easy day, I think, for lots if you got on the right side of the trade. It's a trend day. Some people don't like trading these days, but almost you could buy almost on any reason to go long here. And that's really what you have to think about. So, really not much more to say about that. That's it. So hopefully tomorrow's going to be the same thing. Tomorrow's DOAE report. Let's see how that's going to transpire. Again, I don't know where price of oil is going to go, but I mean, I certainly am going to look for buying long on weakness, at least for, I'm going to probably look at that tomorrow as well. So if you look at any chart, you look at the long-term, short-term charts and look at where we've been, and particularly that 1440 chart, the daily chart where price is kind of bouncing around between that fairly. Now, I think we've kind of hit a bottom there, and it looks like we may break through this area. If we break through the $54 mark, somewhere in that neighborhood, we could go for a pretty decent run over the next few sessions. But again, you can't tell until how prices, what the overnight session is going to reveal and so forth. So let's wait and see. Anyway, this again, I apologize for not being around for the last week. Try to be on a little bit more. It's become more of a draw because of I wasn't able to put it on because of the health problems I had over the course of the last week. It's just allergies, but it certainly messes up my voice and it certainly messes up my breathing, and so I just have to kind of cope with that. So hope you can be a little bit patient. If you have any questions, if you have any specific questions about this stuff, you've got my email address. Just email me, and I'll try to answer your questions individually. This stuff is pretty much straightforward. I've been doing this for a long time. I've got look at the YouTube videos. Must have 300 videos on there. Take a look at those. It hasn't really changed. I haven't changed very much. In fact, I haven't changed really anything for the last 2-3 years. So if you look back at the old videos and go from there, if you need any help in any specific areas, please let me know. I'll try to stick it into another update, or I'll try to answer questions directly. It makes it much easier because at least gives me something to talk about. So give me something to focus on as far as that's concerned, because this other stuff is pretty much straightforward. And that's it. So if you have any questions, again, please let me know. Email me. Let me know. Bye for now.